Welcome, friends, to Assembly V1.1, August 2020. At least I think it's August. It's almost like every single day is like one another at this point. So thank you for being here, especially on a Sunday night. This has been a very interesting weekend. We actually had a historic event yesterday. We had the first all online, all virtual, full National Assembly meeting. That actually it worked well. So thank you for all who participated with that. There's a lot of events coming up. I actually was supposed to be, as we speak, on a plane heading south to Cadabra, but it's all online. So you still can sign up for that. And Dal, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but because I know you're a charter member, but basically, you can still, that's coming, actually, this coming week is Cadabra International, which was the first time I went there last year. It was unbelievably how great it was. TAOM is starting September 4th, the Texas Association. Please sign up for that. It's free. Everybody would love to have you there. And thanks to Joey Vyers and his team for putting that together. MAS is coming September 12th. And I spoke to Mark D'Souza, and he's putting the finishing touches on that. So he's going to be sending all that information out. We have the SAM International Assembly Show on the 13th. That's free for all SAM members. And you probably got an email today that I sent out, the Salute to Magic Show, which is given by the Parent Assembly. And it's all going to be online. So that's being all put together, Sterling Lee, and you can read the email that's coming up, I believe, September 7th. So you can look for that. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this now, Assembly V1.1, is 5 years old. It's amazing to me. You know, when we first started, John Midgley, Bruce Calver, and myself would sit for days on end, trying to figure out, testing different things like that. Here we are 5 years later, and we have loved every second of this. And it's keep going. And thanks to, Matthew Crabtree and Brett Soul and Dr. Matthew Thomas, the team is phenomenal, and we're looking forward to some great futures with all of you. But let's get to today's lecturer, who is he's just a heck of a nice guy. Let me just put it that way underneath there too. He has traveled all over the world. He's been a full-time magician for over 35 years. His resume is amazing. He's performed with Dixie Chicks, Huey, oh my God.
Huey Lewis in the News.
Huey Lewis in the News. Thank you, Dal. And so many rock and roll acts underneath there. He is non-stop professional. I mean, he's, I'd love to have his energy because he just keeps going. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Dal Sanders.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's very, very nice. Everything I know, I learned from rock and roll. That's going to be my next book. I've had a great time. Magic's been really great to me. I've traveled all over the world. I've got to perform and, as Joel said, and lecture in all over the United States and South America and China and in Europe. And I've just been so very, very, very lucky. It's not about energy. It's all about I've been at the right place at the right time. And I'm just very lucky. I can't say anything more. I want to start off by talking a little bit about it and a little bit about what I think about being a magician. It's more than just a job. This is more like a calling, similar to the calling that a lot of ministers might have in the church. It's a calling to excellence. We have a responsibility to be the very best we can possibly be. And we should always push ourselves. We need to always push ourselves to improve and grow. Uh, Before I became a magician, well, I was an actor. And I did some television work, and I've done a ton of commercials. And I still see myself primarily as an actor. It's the old cliche: a magician is nothing more than an actor playing the part of a magician. I do have some rules, and I have some very, very serious opinions and thoughts about this. And first of all, the most important thing is don't be boring. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a magician who is so impressed with their skills and everything that they'll, bore an audience with the fifth movement of oil and water, and literally the audience is doing the audience version of trying to chew their legs off to escape. So to go along with that, I want to share the two rules that I think are very, very important. Rule number one, you can write this down, okay? If you don't get anything else out of today's lecture, remember these two things. Number one, it's a sin to bore a kid. There's nothing you can do that is more wrong than presenting a dull, uninteresting program, especially to a kid. Whether it's a party, a school show, a corporate, whatever, it's just wrong to bore a kid. Rule number two, it's bad business to bore the adults. These are the people who pay your check, they recommend you, and they bring you back again and again and again. So if you don't get anything else out of today, please remember those two things. It's a sin to bore a kid, and it's bad business to bore the adults. Well, lest I be boring, I think it's time we get to a little magic. And like I said in the pre-show here, those of you that are card trick lovers, I'll apologize now. I am not much on card tricks. Okay, the thing that I do is I entertain families. I'm a stage magician that does families. And so we are going to start right there, get rid of my virtual background. And let's see. This is, well, that light has to go. I can see already. It looked good when we practiced, but I guess it's gotten darker in here. I hope everybody can see me. To be my assistant, usually when I would do a lecture like this or a show, I'd have people in the audience. I like to have kids in the audience when I do lectures. But, we're in a period of social distancing, so there are no kids here that I can see. Oh, but I do have my lovely wife. Everybody, this is Cindy. If you don't know Cindy, then you don't know me. And I know before you guys put it in the chat room, she's your favorite Sanders, okay? So I deal with that every day. It's just the way it is. So she's going to play the part in this thing of a principal of a school. And we're going to pretend we have a kid over here. And the show that we're talking about is going to be about bullies, okay? So if we're talking about bullies, I'm going to need somebody to come up. Let's see. First of all, this little girl right over here. Come on up. Come on up. Oh, before she gets here. Did you see that, everybody? I didn't have to say a word. I just pointed to the plastic feet. I pointed to them and put them on the ground. She went over and she's standing on them. She'll stand there until it's time to go back to her seat. It's my greatest invention ever. It's my greatest invention. Teachers, I'll have them for sale right after the show, okay? And now I need the principal to come up. Check it out. It even works on grown-ups. Just think what time that's going to save the next time you have a parent-teacher conference. Anyway, we're going to be talking today about looking for a bully. And here he is right here. He's me. Now, you need to stand on your feet at all times. And you need to stand on your feet at all times too, okay? Now, we're going to be looking for the bully. He's right there. He's mean. He's green. He's scary. And I've got 3 caps right here. I'm going to put him right here in this cap. Everybody can see him in there. And I'm going to mix up these 3 caps. And we're going to see which team can find the bully the most. How many people think the kids team is going to win? How many people think the teachers team is going to win? How many people think I'm going to win? Oh, that's right. If you know me, then that's my thing. I'm going to mix it up. Round and round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. All right. All right. Here we go. Now you need to pick number 1, number 2, or number 3. one. Okay, I heard that. And she's got it right. That's 1 point. And she's right. That's 1 point for the kids team. Let's hear it for the kids team. I'm going to put it back. Now, that's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Sanders. Okay, I'm going to mix them up again. Round and round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. All right. How about it? Number one, number two, or number three?
Number three.
She says number three. And, so basically, you see how this is going to go.
I do.
Okay, great. Let's mix them up again. Round and round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. It's a kid's turn again. All right, number one, number two, or number three? Number three. All right, we'll check out number three. And she's right again. That's 2 points for the kids team. So far, the kids have 2 points, and the teachers have, well, they have you. That's right. Okay, but I think that's a good thing. So let's mix them up again. Watch very, very carefully at all times. I know I'm going really, really fast. I've got the hands of a ninja. I keep them in a jar in the garage. All right. Number one, number two, or number three?
Number two.
She says number two. And now, so far, the kids have 2 points. Now, if you get it wrong, don't feel bad because nobody's ever gotten three right in a row, okay? So let's watch very carefully. Round and round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. What's it going to be? Number one, number two, or number three? Number two. And remember, nobody's ever gotten three right in a row. It's never happened. See, yeah, no, nobody's ever happened. Nobody's ever got. She's right again. So far, the kids have 3 points.
Woo-hoo!
The teachers have zip, zero, nothing, nada, no points, a big goose egg. And I feel very bad about that. This is me feeling bad.
Yeah, I can tell.
Okay, so I'm going to slow down for you this time, okay? So watch very, very carefully, okay? Round and round and round we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Is it number one, number two, or number three? 1, 2, or 3?
Number two.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Well, just to be sure, I'm going to check number one, and there's nothing in number one. So far, so good. We'll check number 3, and there's nothing in number 3. So far, so what? And in number 2, we've got nothing. You know, this game isn't fair, is it? You know why it's not fair? It's not fair because kids can always spot the bully. That's right. Kids know where the bully is. It's the one that's picking on the other kids. It's big. That's finding kids that are by themselves and picking on them, or making fun of the way they dress or the way they look. And teachers and grown-ups, they make the bully disappear, don't they?
Yeah.
Just like you made the bully disappear 3 times, right?
Yeah.
So kids, next time someone's picking on you or being mean to you, find a teacher or some other grown-up. They'll make that bully disappear just like that. Hey, Sally, I gave you a point for every time you found the bully, right? So how many points do you have?
3.
And I give you a point. How about if I give you a point for every time you made the bully disappear? Would that be cool?
Yeah.
So how many points would you have?
3.
So you have 3, you have 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie. Give them all a nice round of applause. Nice job, Sally. You can go back to your seat. And Mrs. Sanders, you did a great job too. Thank you very, very much. And what behind us? What? Oh, wait, Miss Sanders, it's in your hair.
Oh.
That bully wasn't in the head. It was on your back.
Ah.
And teachers, this reminds all of us that even though we make the bully disappear, the minute our back is turned, he's going to show up again. So we need to keep our eyes open. Give Miss Sanders a big round of applause, okay? A big round of applause. Now, okay, that's my 3-cap Monty. The caps were made originally by Creative Magic, and I know. They are no longer in business, but there are some 3 caps available from place to place. I've got some out in the warehouse, as a matter of fact. So that was created for school shows and specifically to teach about staying away from bullies, and also to teach the teachers the fact that just because we make the bullies disappear for a while, the minute our back is turned, they are going to show up again. And you'd be surprised how many teachers I've had come up and say, thank you for that reminder, because I absolutely would have forgotten about that. Are there any questions about that routine? A, yes, B, no. I cannot Let's see.
Not yet, but basically there's a 30-second delay between the YouTube's thing and us. So
Okay. Okay.
George Schindler says also Showbiz has caps. So,
Showbiz has caps.
yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So I see a hand. I can't tell who it is.
You can type it in the chat. You can type it in the chat room.
Type it in the chat. Okay.
Actually, here, we do have a question. Jeff said, do you find that some schools are not using the word bullying anymore?
Yes, they do try to get away from that word, but if that's the only place you do it, for instance, my show is called a friendship celebration, and we talk about being friends and not bullies. So that's the one routine that I do mention the word bullies in the show. So they'll usually let that pass. Any other questions?
Not coming through it yet, as of yet.
So the Monty is one of the strongest plots we have in Magic, and I like using it a lot. Now, as I may have mentioned, I may not have mentioned, but the things that I'm going to show you are just the things that I've done in my show. Not all the ideas are mine. I try to point it out when it's not. But one time, for a while, I was doing another Monty, and it's used coloring books. And this is a 3 coloring book Monty that I've adjusted for Christmas, where you're looking for Santa's suits. Okay, you're looking for Santa's suits. There's Santa's suits in this book. You have Santa's suits in this book, and I really shouldn't show you what's in this book, okay? Because it's not Santa's suits. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to show you what's in this book, because in this book, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to show you that. Yeah, I didn't mean to show you what's in the. It's Santa in his underwear. So we have a Monty that we use with this. We bring them up. I put them in stockings. Since I'm from Texas, I like to use these Texas style stockings. And we have 3 kids standing in the front holding the Texas style stockings, one finger here and their thumb over here to hold the stockings open. And we put the stockings in front of them. And we play the game as a kid versus the parent in that. And that gives us a chance to play, have several minutes of fun with that. And again, it's the kids are always going to win. If you know me, I'm generally going to have the kids win officially, but then there's always going to be a second part where the parents get to tie everything up. And that's 3 stocking Monty. It's one of the strongest. Monty's, like anybody who does any card work knows, a Monty is one of the strongest plots we have. So let's see, what else do we have? My cat is in here behind my curtain. I can't believe it. Or maybe it's raining. I can't, there's some kind of noise going on over there, and I can't tell what it is. It's either rain or my cat's behind the curtain. So anyway, one of the things I love doing, are any questions about that? Coloring books are available from Magic Mania, my little store. So anyway, one of the things I love in Magic, I love watching, and I hate watching at the same time. I have a extreme love-hate relationship with the idea of sponge balls. When done well, it's amazing. And people can do just incredible things with sponge balls. And I love the fact that the magic happens in the audience members' hands. Okay? And sure is. And it's and the problem with it is, a lot of times when you see someone doing sponge balls, they have not cleaned their sponge balls in months. It makes me crazy, especially in restaurant workers. You see them doing sponge bunnies in the restaurant, and the bunnies, it's just so easy to clean or buy new ones. So That's my little soapbox for the moment. But I love the fact that the magic happens in people's hands. So one of the oldest tricks in magic and most copied tricks in magic is Bob Carver's Professor's Nightmare. And so, of course, I copied it too. And what I've done a little different thing. I do 2 sets of shoelaces. Let me show you. I need a helper. You, young lady, would you like to come up and help me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, this is a do as I do trick. You need to do what I'm doing. I'm untying my shoelaces. You need to untie your shoelaces. Hold them in your left hand.
Okay.
Okay. Now count them out one at a time, just like a magic guy would. Ready? 1.
1.
No, like a magic guy. Okay. 1.
1.
It's important to get that far away look in your eye. Okay. 1.
1.
Give her a nice round of applause, everybody. And 2.
2.
And 3 shoelaces here.
3.
3.
Yeah.
And my shoelaces are just like her shoelaces, right, everybody? My shoelaces.
No.
Okay, mine are yellow, hers are red. Outside of that, they're just alike, right, everybody?
No.
No? Well, what's different?
Mine are different sizes.
Oh, yeah, mine are all the same size. Oh, you got, well, okay. I'm going to take the yellow ones and fold them up. I want you to hold them in your hand right here. And I'm going to take these and roll them up in this hand. And we're going to make them switch places. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look me in the eye. You're getting sleepy. Your eyes are getting heavy. Your arms are getting heavy. It's better than your thighs getting heavy. Are you hypnotized?
Sure.
Okay, and now I made them switch places. But now here's the hard part. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and they went back. Here, hold them way up high. Let me show you. These 3 are all different sizes again.
What?
No, okay, maybe you want to see something a little more visible, okay? Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll take this short one and I'll fold it up to where it starts and ends at the same place. I'll take the middle one and fold it up to where it starts and ends at the same place. I'll take the long one and fold it up to where it starts and ends at the same place. Now that they all start and end at the same place, they're all the same size, right?
I guess.
Yeah, if they start and end at the same place. Well, here I am, all nervous.
Can't do the Professor's Nightmare.
It's like doing it in the dark in here. Okay. Okay. Everybody's laughing at me now. I can hear it. My wife is even laughing at me. But that's not what the important thing here is. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. They start and end the same place. They're all the same size. Count out one time. You count yours. I count mine. 1.
1. What?
And 2.
2.
And 3 shoelaces here.
3.
Now give her a big round of applause.
I did it. I don't know.
Hey, so before I let you go back to your seat, I'd like to give people certain prizes at certain times of day.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what time it is? I got your watch. So, all right. So I use that to do the watch steal at the same time. Probably most of you saw me steal the watch at the same time. Watch steal in 5 moves. We're going to bring Cindy's hand in here in 5 steps. Okay.
Can you help me put it on?
She can't wear a watch.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. When I touch her wrist, the step number 1 is to push the this part up out of these straps there. When you grab it, you give it a push and push the pin back. Push that over, grab it, give it a little squeeze on both wrists squeeze at the same time, and take the watch, and you'll get away with it every single time. This is a very, very cool watch. I don't know why I like this watch so much. But so are there any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
James B says the shoestrings are huge, hard to source, find.
He says what? Shoestring huge what?
Hard to find? Question mark.
No. I bought them. They were actually very popular in the early 2000s, and we have a lot of I don't know what they're called, import stores, not too far from here. And so I've gone and I've collected as many of those as I can, and just find the import stores. That's it's better for me. It's better than ropes, because ropes, you don't really know about. Kids know about shoelaces. So so I just got these and made them myself. You take a pair and then you cut them up. I've taken a tape and made the tips. So
And uh, George Schindler says, how can we use spectators' hands now with COVID?
that's a great question. This is one trick that's not going to be in my coming back routine as much. I'm not going to be able to do the watch steal. I'm not going to be able to touch a student. Now, I will still be able to do this, because I will put their shoelaces off on the other. Now, there's a couple of things that I should talk about here, though, and that is the audience member control. I put a set of shoelaces in their hands. All they have to do is open their hands, and they'll see exactly how the trick works. So you may have noticed that when I was giving her instructions, I said, take your left hand, hold it up as high as you can so nobody can mess with that. Let me explain what that means. So you can't mess with it. Okay, I'll translate that right there. I don't care if anybody else messes with it. I just care if she messes with it, or my helper. So even when we come back and they pick up their shoelaces on the other table and do the trick along with me, I'll have them hold their hand up so they can't touch it. Also, the thing with the feet, that's also audience control. I need that teacher to stay still and not get excited and laugh and turn their back on the audience and show the little green disc on their back too early. So I have them stand on the little feet. Yes, everything I know is rock and roll. Anybody here know little feet? That's what I call them, little feet. I have the kids and the teachers stand on the little feet, not to control the kid in the 3-cap money, but actually to control the teacher or the principal, so that they don't reveal the thing hanging on their back too early. Any other thoughts? I mean, I could show you how these things work. I'm sure you know how the change cap works. Anybody want to know how that works? Or
Brett Soul just asked, have you found fewer people wearing watches now because of their cell phones? And
yes, fewer people wear watches, and the ones that do are wearing really expensive watches, which, be very good at this. But this is a pendulum, okay? It goes back and forth. There were fewer people wearing leather bands back in the 80s. Everybody was wearing metal bands. So it's a pendulum that I believe goes back and forth. I still have people in every audience that has a watch. And before a show, I'll be working the crowd, or I'll be talking to people, meeting them before the show. And I'll have those watches spotted long before the show starts. So
Bruce Calver says the jumbo shoelaces are available on Amazon. And he also says, and he knows this firsthand, Apple Watches are easy to take off.
Yes, Apple Watches are some of the easiest, but those were the expensive ones that I was talking about that people are a little more protective of and a little more upset if you take them. So,
one quick note. Libby wanted to know about if you could go over the watch steal again. She says she figured it out, but could you go over it one more time in case those who missed it?
Sure, absolutely. Now we'll watch Cindy put the watch on slowly again. It's her first week with the new hands. Hey, everybody, you need to find someone in your life who will laugh at every single joke, no matter what, even if they've heard it a million times. That's
Okay.
Okay. So here's the way I do it again. Step number 1 is to push, I don't know what that's called, the tongue, I guess, out from underneath the two little hasps right there. Then you push it up and you push the pin down with your thumb right there. Then you push it off like so. Squeeze both wrists at the same time. And that's really important, to not just be messing with one wrist, but to be messing with both wrists so they don't really think anything is up. And then you just clip it here and go to the pocket with it. It's in the lecture notes. So I have got the messiest studio in the world right now. Any other questions, thoughts, comments, criticisms, complaints?
People enjoy it. People love it.
All right. All right. So audience control, it's very, very important to me. It's for so many of my shows, I'm trying to not just make people laugh and say, wow, but I'm also a lot of times trying to teach something, especially in school shows. So I need to make sure that the audience that I bring up on stage, they do what I need them to do. So find ways to make sure that they're standing in the right spot, be it an adult or a kid. Make sure that they don't look at your hand and look at their hand and reveal something too early. Let's see, we're going to do now. Oh, Cindy's going to bring in this. And so this is something that I do in my holiday shows. I've also got just a regular one that's for regular shows. So those of you that don't like Christmas, I'm sorry, but this is a Christmas routine. So I was wondering, who is a better guesser? How many people think boys are the better guessers, and how many people think girls are the better guessers?
Girls.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I want to figure out who the better guesser is. What I've got, let's see, we'll pick this person right over here. Would you stand up, please? Right here, I've got 6 things that you might see at Christmas time. There's a stocking, an ornament, a candy cane, a wreath. What's this right here? That's right, it's a present, but not just any present. This is my present. And of course, jingle bells. So let's see, I'd like you to just choose the number from 1 to 6. 3, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna go with the candy cane. Of course, it's the hot rod force. Okay, but on this side, okay, we'll have you stand up over here. So I've got 3 panels, panel A, B, and C. Choose 2 of the 3 panels.
A and C.
A and C, okay? We'll get rid of them. That leaves panel B. So choose either the snowman or the elf.
The snowman.
Okay, we'll eliminate him. That leaves the elf. Now to see which one is the best guesser, there should be a picture in here either of a snowman or an elf. A snowman or, oh, I'm sorry, an elf or a candy cane. Thank you, Cindy. An elf or a candy cane. An elf or a candy cane. Oh, look. These have been here the whole time. This is something that I set up first. No, that's not an elf or a candy cane. That's not an elf or a candy cane either. That's definitely not an elf or a candy cane. That's not an elf or a candy cane. And that's not an elf or a candy cane.
There it is.
What?
Elf and a candy cane.
I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Turn it over, turn it over, turn it over. Oh, you mean look at it. Okay. And hey, it's an elf and with the candy cane. You're both right. Give them both a big round of applause. And, you know, I was so sure that they were going to pick the elf and the candy cane that notice the back of the cards, they're all blue, except the elf and the candy cane is red. And we didn't print anything at all on the other side at all. So that is mentalism for kids. Mentalism for kids is really guessing. You want them to guess. You don't tell them you're gonna read their minds or they're gonna read your mind. Kids don't understand that. You know what else kids don't understand? For the most part, they don't understand cards. We teach classes and teach magic classes, and it's just amazing to me how many kids don't know the difference between hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. So we really try to. I've tried to stay away from hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. That's based gloves. That's based on the clubs, not gloves. That's based on the amazing trick wave. And I just absolutely love that trick, but I don't love it so much for kids. So I came up with that version of it to just have some kind of minimalism thing for kids. Uh, I see the chat's moving, so thoughts on that? No?
Oh, they were just mentioning it's bad parenting for them not to know the suits of the cards already.
Oh, I agree. I agree. My kids knew the card suits early, but so let me show you something else now. This is yes, and I have a little tiny studio in here, and we are doing our very, very best to get things in and out. So I need someone with a $100 bill. Oh, did you get a $100 bill? No? Cindy's going to go get a $100 bill. So need to find someone with a $100 bill. This is one of my favorite things. Again, this came from the import stores. You'll see it in a minute. Thought I had everything ready, and of course I didn't. So my apologies. While we're doing that, I'll do something else. This is another minimalism for kids. Let's see. I'll pull this in. Another minimalism for kids trick. This uses ducks. All kinds of little ducks. And I'll show them in the close-up in a minute. The kids love this one. I've got, let's see, there's a cheerleader duck. There's a hippie duck. There's a ninja duck. Just the whole idea of a ninja duck makes me laugh. There's a cowboy duck and a pirate duck. Arr! You know why pirates don't play cards, right? Because they're always standing on the deck. Okay, so, yes, I know, dad jokes. So I've got 5 ducks right here. Dr. Joel.
Yes, sir.
So you can pick any of these 5 ducks. Which duck would you like?
Oh, the ninja duck.
The ninja duck. Okay. So you could have picked any of these ducks. You could have picked the hippie duck, the cheerleader duck, the cowboy duck, or the pirate duck. But you picked the ninja duck. Now, it's kind of interesting that you picked the ninja duck because this in the gift bag that they came out of, there's a gift tag. And on the gift tag, it says, I don't know if you can read that. I'll get a little closer. It says, you will pick the ninja duck. And so again, it's a guessing thing. Of course, if you had said the hippie duck, I would have showed you the bottom of the bag where it says, you will choose the hippie duck. Of course, if you pick the cowboy duck, I would have shown you the bottom of the duck where it says, you will pick this duck. And of course, if you had picked the cheerleader duck, I would have showed you my prediction from inside the bag where it says that you will pick the cheerleader duck. Of course, if you pick the pirate duck, I would have showed you the envelope from inside the bag where it says you will pick the pirate duck. So this is mental deduction. I got the idea from Professor I'm a Fowl. He's got a site on the web. I paid my bill. And I know he's a quack, and these jokes aren't all they're quacked up to be. But so I get a lot of fun with rubber duck. There's a little cute little pirate duck. There's a cute little cowboy duck. Yeah. There's the ninja duck, cheerleader duck, hippie duck. They come in superhero characters, both DC and Marvel. You can get them in Halloween characters, holiday characters, just things that kids like or things like that. So $100 bill. Yes, she's got a $100 bill before I take it. Well, it's going to be a 50. So before you hand it to me, write your name on it.
Big?
It doesn't matter.
All right.
Okay. How do we have a $50 bill? Okay. Insert your own jokes here. You all know the jokes. Take the bill, fold it up again. And this is something I would generally have 2 people up on stage with. roll it up like this. I want you to hold it right there and hold it up over your head so nobody can mess with it. Again, crowd control, okay? Now the other person right here, I need you to hold this, but let's see what's in there. There is a bandana. So take this and hold on to it. We're gonna put it right there so we can watch it. There we go. And take the bandana, take the bill, put it right here. Once you reach up here, can you feel the bill?
Yes.
Okay, hold it with your left hand, hold it high so nobody can mess with it. Now, let's see, again, we're dealing with kids, so a lot of times I'll bring out the different magic wands. And here, hold that up, way up high, and oh, wait, no, that's no good. And let's see, how about, oh, here's one. Here's one, this is another magic wand right here. You know, we're gonna just have to use the magic shoe. Happy that all of you came to my magic shoe today. It's good to see all of you at the magic shoe. Okay, insert your own shoe jokes here. Take the shoe. Wait, can you still feel the bill?
Yeah.
Okay, wave the shoe over, wave it at the thing. And now inside the little coin purse. By the way, coin purses, that's something that only grandfathers and magicians are allowed to carry, all right? Once you become a grandfather or a magician, you're allowed to have a coin purse. Inside is a key. Wait, the bill was supposed to be in here. Where, it's a little key. I need to find a little lock. Oh, on that shoe, there's a little lock.
There is.
Wait a minute, check it out. The shoe is laced up and tied, so you can't get in there. The top where you put your foot is totally closed. There's a zipper on the side, but it's zipped up and locked. So the only way in there is to unlock it. Go ahead and unlock it.
Okay.
And I'll take the lock. Go ahead and unzip the zipper. What's inside?
A sock.
Of course, that's what'd be inside a shoe, a dirty old sock. And look, the sock is rubber banded shut, so you can't get in there. So open that up. I'll take the rubber band.
Ick.
And inside is the bill. Is that the one you signed? And yes. Well, and a round of applause. Well, of course, there's no mystery how this works. Everybody certainly has seen a bill tube before. This is just another thing. This was actually a purse that I found at one of those imports stores. And it had a zipper on the side. And here, there was a little thing here, is where the thing to hold on to the strap went. So I took off the strap and discarded that. And then I had these things from when we got married. Guys, how many of you have these and use them? Nobody. These are napkin rings. This is something that people give people for no apparent reason. So, oh yes, I know. They're nice, they're fancy and everything. But anyway, I took these and I got some bright socks and I put the napkin ring right there. And take the rubber band and put it around the top several times, like so. And the napkin ring will hold the sock open. I take the sock, I poke it down into the shoe, open it up like so, zip it up a little bit, as much as it'll go. Then I take the lock and I put it through the eye of the zipper. And the little tab right there in the back. Lock it up. Just a moment more of fixing it. Put it in the case. And it's ready to go. Inside the coin purse, I put the key, and the bandana. And of course, you know that the bandana in the corner has a rolled up piece of paper. This is the only sewing Cindy does. Yes, Cindy does not sew at all. The first thing she wanted when we got married was a sewing machine. And the only thing she has used it for is to sew these bandanas together and put the corner like that so we could put the rolled up paper in there to make it feel like the bill. So you take the bill, you fold it up, then you roll it up. And the reason I use the weird ones is A, kids like them, and B, it gives me a reason to go to my case over and over again. The first time I do it, I just poke it in there and get a wand. Second time I do it, I pop the napkin ring out and get a second one. Third time, I just pick it up. And when I grab the lock and pull it like that, it'll zip right up and I can hand it to the people and they won't be able to tell that, there's a lock on it. They're not going to try to unzip it with the lock on it. So that's the magic shoe. And I just dropped the key, which will be bad next time I try to perform this thing. Are there any questions about the magic shoe? Again, I found these at an import store. I have never found them again. I bought all that they had. I think I have like 17 or 18 left. I've sold hundreds of them. John Chirac does this. A lot of different magicians will do it in the regular show. And it's just been a fun thing for me for 35 years. I've been doing that trick.
I had a question about the coin purse.
Okay.
Where are you sourcing the silicone coin purses from? Because those are nigh impossible to find.
Also at an import store.
Also at an import store. So a lot of this stuff, we probably can find it over on the China sites too, on the web, but we have those stores a mile away, 2 miles away at the most. So I just drive up and down Harry Hines and pull in the stores and walk up and down the aisles till I see something I can do a magic trick with and say, okay, I'm buying all. How many of these do you have? I'm buying them all. So that's where I got them.
People really like this, and Brett even said he really likes how you repurpose items for magic.
Well, I love magic boxes. I really, really, really love magic boxes. If you ever saw my warehouse, you'd say, oh, this guy really loves these tricky magic boxes and everything. But when you go into shows for kids, they don't care about whether or not it was an Aikido box or the latest thing from Nielsen or whatever. They just care about whether it's something they can relate to. So that's how I end up with magic caps and things like that. So how are we doing?
Doing good.
Everybody still with me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to talk a little bit again. First, I'm going to get a sip out of my Texas Rangers cup. So one of the things that I think is so very important is that we need to really love our audiences. And I read a book. Actually, my dad was the most charming person I've ever met in my entire life. If I had 1/10 of his charm, I would have been a much more popular magician. He could walk in a room and everybody would want to hang out with him. Every woman would notice him. I mean, even when he was 90 years old, he still had that kind of just charm about him. And obviously it skips a generation, because if you knew my sons, especially my youngest son, he's got that same charm too. I hate that Bruce is on the line, because I'm about to tell Chaz's Apple story. Every time, Chaz is really hard on things, and every time he breaks his iPhone or any Apple product at all, He just goes in with those eyes like Cindy, and he tells him, I don't know what happened. I just did the least little thing and it broke. And it doesn't matter if it's who is working there. They not only give him a new iPhone, they upgrade him for no charge. So I don't know, again, he's so charming. The day that he graduated from college, he absolutely had lost our tickets to see him graduate. And he was running late and everything else. And so he went up to the lady taking the tickets and he says, I know I bought my tickets, but I can't find my parents' tickets anywhere. And she said, oh, it's okay, Chaz. We love you. Here, I'll give your parents front row tickets to watch you graduate. And they gave us these tickets. And I looked at the lady and Chaz ran off to get in line. I said, why are you letting him graduate? He's not ready. He can't face the world. Oh, we love Chaz. Everybody loves Chaz. So like I said, clearly that kind of charm skips a generation. But my dad had a book that I read when I was young, trying to figure out why people liked my dad so much, called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It was written in the 1930s. If you haven't read that book, what are you waiting for? It's one of the greatest magic books ever. And it will teach you how to treat your audience. There's one chapter that I especially like because it's about Howard Thurston. And the book is full of wisdom, but the Thurston part really, really got to me. Now, Thurston, as we all know, he wasn't a brilliant man. He ran away from home at a young age, quit school, and begged for food. His secret for success was how much he loved his audience. Before every show, he would sit backstage, and as people would come in, he would kind of look at people through the little crack in the curtain there, or he would imagine them sitting out in the crowd, and he would say in his head to every single person that he would hear or see come in, I love you. Thank you for coming to my show. I love you. Thank you so much. This is so important to me that you came. And he would do that as every single person came to the show. Oh, family would come in. He said, oh, you brought your whole family. Thank you so much. And he would say this to himself every single show before the show. Now that's got to affect your thought process when you walk on that stage, when you've already decided that you love your audience before you even hit the boards. And I think that's something that lives today. He died decades ago, but his legacy is still strong. His autographs, his photos, promotional material, and props, they're highly collectible by not only magicians, but by lay people. So he's not remembered simply because he was so successful as a magician, even though he was. I think he is remembered so well because he was a good man. He was a good person. And he really treated his audience as well. So I think that's something that's very, very important for us all to remember. It's important how we treat our audiences. And so stepping down off the soapbox again, now it's time to move on. And I would have loved to have met Thurston. Let's see. I'm going to switch cameras here. This is something that I made available. Speaking of famous magicians, I made it available when I was president of the Society of American Magicians. This was my gift to the magicians of the time. And we're going to share it again right now. And in fact, if you want a set of these, I still have a whole lot of them. If you will just pay for the postage, I will send you a set. What I have here are some cards of famous magicians from the Society of American Magicians. That's Harry Houdini, and that's Howard Thurston right there. Of course, here's Dr. Harlan Tarbell, who wrote one of the greatest books about magic we have. This is the first dean of magicians, Harry Keller, and this was Jay Marshall, who is also a dean of the Society of American Magicians. We've had many great people that have been members too, including David Copperfield. So these cards, these are all SAM cards. They have blue backs, and I've got another set right here that all have red backs. Now, what we're going to do is spell the phrase "Great magicians are in the SAM." We're going to spell it one letter at a time. And so, hey, Krabby, unmute. Matthew Crabtree. Oh, maybe he's not here. Okay, I just need someone to unmute. So,
I got
Joel,
you.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these cards. We're going to spell "Great magicians are in SAM." On every letter, I will take either a red one and put it on the bottom or a blue one and put it on the bottom, just like that, okay? So the first word is great, G-R-E-A-T, red or blue?
Red, please.
Red, okay, we'll take that one and move it to the bottom. R is next one, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue. I hope I wasn't influenced you by picking up the blue. The next one is, okay, Cindy's going to help. Next letter is E, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue again. A, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue again. T, red or blue?
Red.
Red. And we move it to the bottom. Now, if this is true, then these two should match, and they're both Harry Keller. It's a perfect match. All right. And of course, all of you recognize will the cards match? For time, it's up to you guys. We can go through the whole phrase and do it and match it all the way through, or you can just trust me. Okay, we'll go ahead. Magicians, M, red or blue?
Red.
Red. A, red or blue?
Red.
Red again. G, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue. I, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue again. C, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue again. I, red or blue?
Red.
Red. A, red or blue?
Red.
Red again. N, red or blue?
Red.
Red again. And S, red or blue?
Red.
Red again. Okay. If we are matching again, then Howard Thurston matches Howard Thurston, and they do. It's a perfect match. R, A-R-E, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue. R, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue. E, red or blue?
Red.
Red. I thought you were going to try to mess me up that time. So David Copperfield, of course, matches David Copperfield. N-I-N, red or blue?
Red.
Red. N, red or blue?
Red. Red.
Yeah. You did try to mess me up that time. But of course, Houdini matches Houdini. And S-A-M, red or blue?
Blue.
Blue. A, red or blue?
Red.
Red. And M, red or blue?
Blue.
I knew you were going to do that. So Tarbell matches Tarbell, which means, of course, J. Marshall matches J. Marshall. And it is a perfect match. So this is, let's see, USB live camera. This is the classic Will the Cards match trick. Before I go any further, I want to brag about my Magic Club. Assembly 13 is an amazing club. We have some of the smartest people in our club I have ever met. We have a geologist whose team, he and his team figured out why fracking is causing earthquakes in different parts of the country. We have one member who is the head medical examiner, used to be for the Dallas County, now for a major hospital. We have another guy who I think his main job is to make sure that the internet works. Mike Squires is his name. I once asked him, we were talking and joking, and I said, yeah, well, what are the chances of that ever happening? And he looked up over my head and he said, approximately 247,000 to 1. And I looked at him and I said, you just did that math in your head, didn't you? He says, yeah, let me show you how it works. And he got out a napkin and he wrote out how the factor fours and factor tens and all this other stuff that was way over my head. Another member of our club is named Mark Jensen. And he is also a brilliant guy. And his job, what he does, let's see if I can find it here. What he does is he figures out how things work for companies. He goes into a company and he figures out why the company's not doing well, or this, that, the other. So he also figured out the math behind this, and I'm going to share it with you now. Okay. I like to use 6 cards. If you use 6 cards, you have to have 5 different words. The first word has to have 5 letters. The second word has to have 4 letters. The third word has to have 3 letters. The fourth word has to have 2 letters. And the final word can be anything as long as it has an odd number of letters. Now, you may have noticed that great has 5 letters, but magicians has 9 letters. Well, he figured out that, and he explained to me that it could be double too. For instance, instead of a 5-letter word, you can have an 11-letter word, because 5 plus 5 plus 1 will equal the required number of letters. Instead of a 4-letter word, you can use a word with 9 different letters, 4 plus 4 plus 1. In the third position, you need 7 letters, 3 plus 3 plus 1. 2-letter word would have to have 5 letters, 2 plus 2 plus 1. Last one can be anything still, as long as you have an odd number of letters. Now, I figured out this today. Appropriately, quarantines will get to all. So, but there's all kinds of different words that we can use. Let's see if I can switch screens again. Let's see. I'm switching screens. I've got to stop the screen first. Come on, mousy. Too many screens in the studio here. Okay. And here we go. These are some of the things that you can use to spell for a perfect match. Happy Halloween, be careful. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. St. Patrick's Day is green, you know, all kinds of things. You can reuse this over and over and over again. And as a matter of fact, I use it a lot. I don't know which screen I'm on now. There I am. I use it a lot in a stage size. I've got these very large cards, red and blue, and they've got clear envelopes that you can switch out the different pictures and use anything you want. Jeff Quinn, Socorro, he used it for his Nebraska show. He used the same trick for his Nebraska show. It's been very, very useful for me. Are there any questions about that?
Well, Jeff just came on and just said, no, I don't want anyone to know about this trick. So
people want to know how to get the cards for the trick.
Okay, send me an email, dal@stagemagic.com. Oh, tell you what, let's use the other email for the SAM cards. That's dal@magicsam.com. That way I can keep them separate. dal@magicsam.com, and we'll get them to you. I don't know how much the postage is going to be. We'll have to figure that out. It'll be
like $3.
Cindy says it'll be like $3.80. So I don't have a budget either. Otherwise, I'd send them to you. So, okay. dal@stagemagic.com. Joel will put that in the, or Matthew or somebody will put that in the chat.
yeah, so Jeff just says,
dal@magicsam.com. I'm sorry. So used to doing the stage magic.
Jeff says, seriously, everyone, this is a freaking brilliant trick and very versatile. I also used it in my pumpkin patch show.
I didn't know that.
David wanted to know where you get the clear envelopes, and Wayne wanted to know the jumbo cards. Where did you get the jumbo cards?
I have them made. You can get those from magic-mania.com. All of those are are my products, along with the shoelaces. I've got those. I've got the ducks. I mean, you can make them yourself, or you can just go to the website, magic-mania.com. Back in the 80s, I had the first Christmas gift I gave Cindy when we got married was a magic store. So
Yeah.
so we got married in September, and right after Thanksgiving, we opened a magic store in a festival marketplace. And believe me, it was a license to print money for about 5 years. After that, it was just a drain. But for the first 5 years, it was fun. So, and it was called Magic Mania. So we still own the company. So, other thoughts, comments, criticisms, complaints?
I think
Looks like
people's. Oh, go ahead.
I would say it looks good. Seems like we've caught up all the questions.
Awesome. So, you guys know that I was a big fan of Creative Magic and a friend of Brian South. I had a great time adapting a lot of his products to different shows and different things. One of my favorite props is right here, flashcards. And this is my flashcard routine. So I had to put my case up on my table because my table wasn't tall enough. And so we're going to do something else here. And I'm going to use my lovely assistant, Cindy, again. Let's hear it for Cindy. Yay.
Yay.
And the crowd goes wild. So Cindy, do you know your alphabet? She's going to play the part of a child here, okay?
Yes.
Okay, let me hear your alphabet, please.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Give her a big round of applause. Now, I noticed that you sang the alphabet. So it's my guess that you learned the alphabet from the song. Is that true?
Yes.
Well, see, I didn't learn the alphabet from the song. I had to learn the alphabet before they invented singing. I had to learn the alphabet from flashcards. But because of that, I can say the alphabet backwards and forwards and backwards. Would you like to hear me say it backwards?
Sure.
Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. No? Oh, you expected me to say Z, Y, X, and W, B, U, T, S, R, and Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, G, F, E, D, C, B, A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have way too much free time. So anyway, I've got these cards right here. A is for?
Apple.
It's for astronaut. These are
Oh.
modern cards, okay? B is for?
Banana.
Baseball. You should know, I'm a big baseball fan. C is for?
Cat.
It's these modern cards.
I don't know. Car.
No, it's still about cat. I mean, it's always going to be about the cat. If you have one cat and 5 dogs, the cat's still going to be the one in charge. Okay? Let's jump around a little bit. Let's see. M is for?
Monkey.
M is for?
Oh, magician. Magician.
I'm pointing to myself and you say monkey? M is for magician. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you to take the cards and cut the cards. Put about half of them right there. There we go. And, you could have stopped anywhere. I'm going to marketplace right there. You could have stopped anywhere. You could have stopped right here. You could have stopped with Z is for zipper. Or you could have stopped up here. X is for xylophone. Or you could have stopped over here on D is for dog. But you stopped right here. Now, I want you to look at the card. I'm not going to look at it. Look at the card. Remember the picture. Remember the letter. Remember the word. Okay, I'm not looking. I'm pointing to it. Was it right side up or upside down?
It was good.
Okay, I'm going to put it right here. Now, I'm going to try to guess. Remember, not read her mind. I'm going to try to guess what card you chose. Let's see. Let's see. Oh. Your mind is jumping around a lot. It could be that one. Could be one of those. Oh, it could be that. Oh, it could be that. Well, I'm not exactly sure what card you chose, so we're going to have to use a process of elimination, okay? Was your card something people liked?
Yeah.
People like strawberries. People like strawberries.
Nope.
No, not strawberries. People do like strawberries.
Yeah.
Was it something that could be used for work and for play?
Sure. Yeah.
Email is used for work and play every single day. Was it email? No. Okay. Oh, wait. Was it an animal card?
Yes.
An octopus is an animal. Did you get? No. Oh, wait a minute. This is a magic show. You're expecting a cute little rabbit.
No.
No. Was it bigger than a rabbit?
Bigger, yes.
A lot bigger. Like a hippopotamus.
No. No, not that big.
Okay. Are you sure it wasn't one of these 5 cards? You sure it wasn't these 5 cards? Are you positive it wasn't these 5 cards? You positive it wasn't these 5 cards? I don't know if it's backwards in the screen or not, but that spells horse. Okay, give her a big round of applause. Yes. Okay, everybody knows the famous crisscross force. I love these cards. I get so much mileage out of these cards. I use them for a lot of different things. And again, it's something that kids can understand a lot easier than playing cards. I like the spelling aspect at the end. I don't know what else to say about that. So that's one way to take something that we've seen and we've done in Magic for years and years and years. Here's something else that we've seen and done in Magic for a long time. And we're going back to the holidays here. So I was watching TV the other day and I saw a commercial come on, and it was from Bob's Discount Card House. And Bob's came on and said, come on down to Bob's Discount Card House. You can pick out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas cards. All you have to do is pay for 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, and you get to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas cards. So I went down to Bob's Card House and I said, Bob, I saw you on TV. You said I could pick out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas cards. I only have to pay for 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, and I get to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas cards. He said, that's right. That's right. We have that special deal going right now where you can pick out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lovely Christmas cards. You only have to pay for 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And you get to take home 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And I said, oh, Bob, I've got to do this. He said, you better hurry. It's a limited time offer. So I shopped and shopped and shopped and shopped and shopped and shopped. And finally, I had the cards I wanted. I went up to the counter and I said, Bob, I picked up my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas cards. I'm going to pay for 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And so that means I get to keep 1, 2, 1. Bob, I wanted 6 Christmas cards. And he said, oh, you wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas cards? Well, I told you that was a limited time deal. And that deal is done. So we've almost all of us have done 6-card repeat. This is, you take 4 of the cards and you make a pocket with it. There's a little, it's sealed right down there. You cut the back off and you make a little pocket. Then you take the covers off some of them, just the covers, and 3 covers will fit inside the little pocket. And then it's just the count. You take them out of the back and so forth and so on. So that's the 6 Christmas card repeat. I also do it with birthday party cards, cards that for the birthday party child. And I actually just use one style of card for birthday parties. And I'll always if I'm at the child place, I'll always sign one of the cards and give it to the child. I'll have all the other guests there to also sign the card on the inside. So the child will always have a souvenir. So questions about that?
Well, James B says, bravo. Are you kidding? A 6-card repeat with greeting cards? That's fantastic.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad you like that. I don't know what to say. I want to talk about now. What I want to talk about now is writing shows for children, and specifically shows on school shows. So let's see if I can get that up. Are you seeing that screen?
We see a screen, but nothing on it right now. But
Okay, but there's nothing on it. Okay,
yes,
when you do a school show or deliver a sermon or give an inspirational talk or anything like that, people are going to have 4 questions that they automatically want answered. 4 responses. The first is, oh, this isn't going to work. Please tell me it's going to work. The first is, it's not doing it. Bruce, I was following your example to have let's see if I can get this going again.
Joe said to click advance next slide. Click on the screen, then advance next slide.
Okay, I can do it down here. Okay. There are 4 responses people have. The first is, what's going on? They want to know what you're selling, what you're talking about, what's going on. So you need to be clear and let people know exactly what you're talking about. The second is, what are you saying? Okay, so you've got their attention. I call the what's going on the ho-hum. You got to get their attention. The second is, what are you saying? This is where you give your spiel, so to speak. The third is, prove it. And the fourth is, so what? What does that mean to me? Say if you're doing a school show and you're talking about being a good friend, first you got to get people's attention. Usually we use magic to get people's attention, to communicate what's going on. Then we tell them what we're saying, prove it, and so what. But when you write a routine, it doesn't write in that order. The first thing you need to decide is, what are you saying? You need to be upfront with that first. Are you writing a show about being a good leader, for example? What it takes to be a good leader. The second thing is, so what? Why is that important to the kids in your audience or the people in your audience? The third thing is, prove it. And the fourth thing that you'll need to share is, that's the fun stuff, the what's going on, the ho-hum part of it. So these are the 4 phases that people will adapt to your show. You need to answer these 4 questions first. Now, I want to show you an example of this. Can you get that ready? Let's see. I'm going to bring up, say if I were bringing up 4 kids, okay? Bringing up 4 kids. I'd tell them that they were going to be part of a play. And I'd tell them that I want them to have a costume. So one person would be, say, a doctor. One person would be an everyday person, just an everyday person. One person might want to be an athlete. And one person might want to be a dancer or an artist of some sort, okay? So I've got these 4 costumes and they fit on the heads like this, okay? I hope someone's getting a screenshot of this because this will be hilarious in MUM or something. So I've got these four children lined up and I'm telling them that we're going to have a little play. We're going to have a little play. And we're going to talk about a guy coming to town. And then they need you to help me out on this. And they are going to try to open up the keys to success. And a good leader will know how to open the keys to success. So put the lock on it like this. To be able to do it, all you need to do is lift it up off the plexiglass tray, which you can't see. All right. to make it a little more mysterious, I've got this cool cloth. So the first person comes up, and that's the athlete. Says that they're the strongest in the class. They're the strongest. They can certainly lift it. So they try to lift it up off the thing, and they can't do it. The second person is the smartest. Decides that they're going to try to make use physics to lift it up. So they hold out their arm, and they use their other arm to give them some leverage, and they still can't lift it. The third person, the artist, they're just naturally charming. They're going to try to charm the box off, and that doesn't work either. And then the third person says, well, I'm just an everyday guy. I'm not the smartest in the school or the strongest. I'm not the most charming. But I think if we all work together, then we'll be able to lift the box. So he gets all four of them to lift together. And of course, they're able to lift the box easily when they all cooperate and work together. Then we can open the box and we can talk about the different keys to success. For instance, here's a yellow key right there. And this yellow key reminds us that a leader takes responsibilities for their action. There's a blue key right here. The blue key reminds us that a good leader sets a good example, right, like that. The third one reminds us that a true leader will do the right thing. Yeah, I guess that's right. And the fourth one reminds us that a true leader will listen before they speak. Now I have them standing there like this, and the listen, example, action, and do. And then I'll turn them around, and on the back of the costumes, there's a letter. And the four letters are L for listen. Let's see. E for setting a good example. The A, I can't find it here now. It's so much easier when you have kids in the audience. A is for take responsibility for your action. And the D, of course, do the right thing. So you turn them around and you have the, if you could find the silks again. You have the four things, and they learn about what it takes to be a good leader. Now I want to show you what these are. These are just the keys. These are the keys that you get from Learning Center or something, and they're big plastic keys. The box, of course, comes from Barry Mitchell, and it's his light heavy box.
These come from Tim Sonnefeld.
The silks, all the silks come from Wonder Imagery and Tim Sonnefeld. They do a great job. And these have thumb tips glued to the back that are painted. Now, I already mentioned our magic store, okay? When we owned the magic store, Cindy's already laughing because she knows the story I'm about to tell. When we owned the magic store, Cindy thought she was getting a great deal on plastic thumb tips. She thought she was ordering a gross. They were only going to be like a penny a piece. I think it was 1.2 cents each, the way it broke down. And she thought she was ordering a gross. My dear wife ordered a gross.
Like 20,000.
20,000 thumb tips. They brought the things in, they delivered them, and Cindy was expecting a little box, right? They brought them in on a pallet, and she's going like, whoa, wait, what is this? Of course, they're not going to take them back. And so we still, that was 33 years ago, and we still have hundreds of thumb tips. We thought that we were down to the last few packages recently, And today we were at the warehouse looking for something, and we opened a box, and here is another full case of thumb tips. So we have literally a lifetime supply of thumb tips. So I try to find places to put them all the time. This is one place I put them. Glued them to the back of the key, and the silk just fits right in there. And when the kids see the silks coming out of the key from the stage, it looks really good. I don't know how it looked in the Zoom room here, but from the stage, it looks really, really good because they see the clear plastic box full of keys. And then, you just hold it and you pull out each word as if it's coming right out of the key. A true leader listens to others. And so this is a show I wrote for McDonald's. Some people may not know that I got to work with the Ronald McDonald program for many, many years. That's all I'm going to say about how I worked with them. But at the end, I was writing, I got to help write the shows. And this was a routine that I came up with for that. And the last show that we did before they closed the program down was a show about being a good leader. And so we would end the show. I'd put these up on a board with using magnets. And so we would end the show by giving the school something to remember the show from. And so I would invite the principal back up. Here she is again, Principal Sanders. Give her a nice round of applause. Principal Sanders, we talked about the 4 things it takes to be a good leader, that a true leader needs to listen, set a good example, take responsibility for their actions, and
do their best.
Do their best. Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Now, I'd like to do a little magic with these things. We're going to take these in here. First, I want to remind everybody that a true magician listens to others. And I'm going to put it in here like so. And a true magician sets a good example. And we'll put it in this magic wand. A true magician takes responsibility for their actions. Right, and it goes. Okay. And finally, a true magician will, that's upside down. Nope. Will do the right thing and do their very, very best. Now, do you remember what order we put them in there?
I think so.
Okay, which one is first?
Red, example, no. Listen.
Here, just reach in there and pull it out, okay?
There's nothing.
Wait, there's nothing in there. Let me take the 2 rubber bands off. And by now, the fanfare music is playing, and there's something to leave the school. It's a certificate. It's a certificate that the school has been awarded the Everyday Leader Award. The students know how to listen to others, set a good example, responsible for their actions, and do their very, very best. Give the principal a nice round of applause. Now, of course, everybody saw that go into my pocket with a dye tube. But this isn't just a dye tube. When I was putting the show together, dye tubes had gotten extremely, extremely expensive. So I was looking for a way to get this done under budget. So I was visiting my parents, and I saw pill containers. My parents, they were taking a lot of pills. My dad was fighting cancer at the time, so they had lots of these empty containers. So I took a couple of them home, got a hacksaw, sawed off the top of the bottle, left a little lip so things don't come back out, and you have a really, really great dye tube that'll fit in your hand, and it's easy to steal and is very inexpensive. If anybody needs dye tubes, I've also got a lifetime supply of these because I had to buy a lot of them. So any questions about that?
Yeah, the poster.
Oh, Cindy said the poster. I just put a black stripe on the back so that when it's rolled up, it looks like a magic wand. And that's it. That gets left with the school. The schools will always put them up. In fact, that's a little piece of advice. If you're doing school shows, leave something with the school about your show when you're done, because they'll put it up on the wall. They'll put it up in the counselor's office. They'll put it up. And if you're just putting up a poster before the show, then it'll be gone after the show. But if you give them a poster that reminds students about the important things you talked about in the show, then that'll stay up there for years and years and years. In fact, are there any questions about that? Shall I move on?
Well, David just asked, can you show the handling to fill the dye tube?
To build the dye tube?
To fill it up.
Oh, sure. I need the silks again. And I just, unfortunately, I just pumped the rubber bands in here. Here's one. So I roll up the that really nicely, and I put that in there, right there. I have the 2 rubber bands on it. 1 rubber band is what's important. That's going to hold the tube in, the thing in place so it doesn't come out too soon. So the first one I'm holding like this, and I take the listen one, and I put it in like that, and I'm holding on to the end of the tube, holding the dye tube in place. The second one, I do the same thing. The third one, I turn it up like this. Actually, in the middle of the second one, I turn it up and I pull it out a little bit to where I'm actually holding on to the dye tube with my ring finger. Then responsible for their actions, poking it in there. And then the last one. I ask them which one is went in first. When I'm doing that, I'm just clicking my thumb into the lip, holding the silks in place and the thing. And I said, do you remember which one went in first? And I turn and face them. With the cover of my body, I just pull it out. There it is right there. And I go to my pocket with it. And it's just a momentary thing so that for the most part, kids don't see you do it. It's actually the same move that I use doing the Duke Stearns diversion, if you're familiar with that trick.
Oh, they said, thank you very much for clarifying. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Speaking of Duke Stearns diversion, I'll tell a little story, and this is actually on the internet. You can go look it up if you want. So if you're familiar with Duke Stearns diversion, it's very similar to this. You turn 4 silks into a 24-foot silk banner. In this one, I just make them disappear. But in that one, you turn 4 silks into a 24-foot silk banner. And I was using it. I was on tour with the New Christy Minstrels. New Christy Minstrels? The New Seekers, okay. And it was one, if you've ever seen A Mighty Wind, watch it during this pandemic. It's a hilarious film. It's done by the same people that did Spinal Tap. And everything that you see in that film is true. It's like they followed me with these rock and roll and these folk music revival shows and wrote down everything that I saw in those shows. Anyway, I was touring with, opening up for the New Seekers, and we were in Florida, and Cindy and I, Cindy wanted to join me for the Florida leg of the show because, well, she loves Florida. It's her favorite place in the world. And so one day we were in Tampa, and she wanted to go to the beach. And I said, no, you can't go to the beach today. My niece and nephew and my family are coming to the show, and I need you to, and I'm panicking because I was going to propose to her that day. I need you to videotape the show. Yeah, I need you to get the camcorder out and videotape the show. Okay, can't we videotape tomorrow's show? No, my family won't be there tomorrow. So I had my niece and my nephew up on stage with me. We did Duke Stearns diversion. And every night that I'd done the show, I opened up the paper tube and it said, and now the New Seekers. This night I opened it up. I went down on one knee and read what it said. It said, Cindy, will you marry me? And about the time that the audience stopped going, what? I said, and here's the ring my grandfather gave my grandmother 52 years ago today, on the center of the 24-foot silk banner, I had threaded my grandmother's ring onto this long 24-foot silk. And so Cindy, literally, without knowing it, videotaped her proposal. And then the audience made her come up on stage, and fortunately she said yes. Otherwise it would have been horrible. I thought it was so great though. The audience responded so well. I wanted to do it every night for the rest of the tour, but Cindy would. She said, nope, you get one time on that, and you're never going to bring me up on stage again. I said, okay, I'll never bring you up on stage again.
Hi.
And she's on stage with me all the time. So anyway, back to the lecture. I'm sorry if I'm derailing my train of thought here, telling these side stories. This is just the thing that happens when you get Dal. That's what you get. So it's important, I think, to leave some sort of reminder for the kids of the things you talked about. And my favorite one is right here. At the end of my friendship show, I asked the principal to come up, and I thanked them for letting me come to their school today. And I want to leave the school something, but I haven't had time to go to the printer yet. I do have this paper right here, and it's got these 4 lines, and I've got these markers right here. Pick any color you want. She picks red. And I need you to write the 4 important things we talked about on these 4 lines, okay? And don't worry, they're written on the back, so nobody will forget them. The first thing we talked about today is be a good friend. So be a good friend right across the first one. Be a good friend, because it's important to be a good friend. Help your friends, support your friends, be a good friend every single day. The next thing we talked about is how friends cooperate. It's sort of like musicians all playing together. Each part individually is great by itself, but when they all work together, when they all cooperate, they can create a beautiful, beautiful song. After that, words can hurt too. Remember, words do hurt. You be careful of what you say. You might think you're just being funny or just being mean or something like that. But words can hurt people too. And the last thing we talked about is don't be a bully. That's right. Don't be a bully. Now we go through some other things where I have kids come up, and we go back to creative magic. We're using their bigger ones and bigger one, bigger one, bigger one, bigger one. We finally have the 8-foot wand where we have 2 kids holding up the blow up wand. But as the music plays, we get the kids to do the magic, and there it is, a friendship celebration. There it is, right there. And so this is just another take on our old favorite, the out to lunch principle. These rubber bands are exercise rubber bands. The boards are artist boards, and that's just a flap covering it. I put the pins on the back so that there's a reason to have, there's a reason to have the rubber band. That way people say, well, why do you have that rubber band? Well, they're there to hold all the pins. And again, I leave the school with something to remember the show with. So that goes up and literally will stay up on the walls for years and years and years and years. Let's see, let me look at my list here. That is just about it. I've got a few other words I want to share. So let me go back to this and see if I can get the mouse. There it is. So again, this is where you start and the other is where you end. Talk about flexible modular structuring. Mention that real quick. If something is going to go wrong in a show, it will. So be flexible. All my shows, everything I write is always going to be modules. I can plug something out, unplug something if it's not working, plug something else in if that will work. You have a different audience than you expected, whatever. Put your show together using different modules, flexible modular structuring. Plan spontaneity. I don't believe in improv, but I do believe in planned spontaneity. It's supposed to look like it's improvised, but it's never really truly improvised. Okay, are we sharing this? Is everybody seeing that, or are they
No.
just seeing?
No.
No, seeing
Oh,
you. Now you
darn.
got it. You got it.
Okay, that's what I was doing wrong. So, okay. So go back to there, flexible modular structuring, planned spontaneity. 2 rules of school shows. It's a sin to bore a kid. It's bad business to bore the adults. Please write that down. That's the most important thing I've got to say in all of this. It's the most important thing. I had something else I was going to share. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Nope, it's gone. I closed it by mistake. There are a couple of things I would like to talk about, though. And one of them is supporting your magic clubs, your local clubs first. I love my Dallas Magic Club. It's such an incredible club. I've learned so much from being a member of this club. I am surrounded by the smartest people I've ever met in my life. And it's a joy whenever I get to be with them, even if it's just virtually. I truly, truly appreciate them. Find your own local magic club. If your club is not great, or you're not getting what you want out of it, then that's on you. Start getting people in there that you respect and that you like. You can build the club to be what you need just as easily as anything else. Support V1.1. This is another chance to meet people and hang with people that bring so many great gifts to it. And finally, support the SAM and the IBM and the other organizations that we're all members of, okay? Pay your yearly dues. Okay, maybe the magazine isn't what you want it to be. It could be. Write the articles. Maybe you're not getting this, you're not getting that that you really would like from the National Magic Club. I don't want to hear all that. What I want to hear is, how are you helping the national organizations be better? And are you talking to your officers and helping them be better? Coming up pretty soon in October, we're going to have National Magic Week. National Magic Week was actually started by Harry Houdini. Now, he just would visit people when they were visiting in the hospitals, and he would help them out while they were, down and out. When he passed away, his friends established first Houdini Day, and it grew into a full week. And it started off with just the Society of American Magicians, and now all the different magic organizations celebrate National Magic Week. It's the last week in October, and it is a wonderful chance for you to give back to your community. Because in my opinion, that's really what it's all about. It's not about how much money you make as a magician, or how many tricks you sell as a dealer, or anything else. It's, what have you done for your community? Have you used your gifts, the thing that you get to have, your magic? Have you used it and shared it with other people? And so National Magic Week is a great time to give back to the community. Cindy and I could talk forever about the things that Cindy and I do to try to give back to the community. It's a little self-serving, so I'm not going to do that. If you want to know, contact me directly, privately, and I'll be glad to give you some ideas. But find ways that you can involve yourself in National Magic Week. This year it's going to be different. Maybe you do a virtual show and you make it available for people. Maybe you do virtual lessons for homeless kids. They may be homeless, but they still seem to have a phone, and the parents have phones and they are looking for things that their kids can do too. So look for different ways that you can give back to your community. Cindy and I visit homeless shelters quite a bit before they locked us down. And we haven't been anywhere in a long time. In fact, you can tell I am in bad need of a haircut. This is the longest my hair has been since 19. So are there any other questions? Thoughts, comments?
Tom asked a question when you were talking about the school shows. Are you running into any trouble with the new gender identity and moving away from identifying, the boy and girl and going more gender neutral?
Yes, I'm of course going more gender neutral. The as a matter of fact, the four silks, the LED, we grabbed the old show, the test show, and didn't grab the new ones. The new show doesn't have the ballerina; it has an artist smock. So when I was opening them up, performing just then, I said, oh, I grabbed the prototype. I didn't grab the finished version of it. So yes, we are moving in that direction more and more and more. Pardon? Okay, Cindy said something. One of our puppets is named Lucy, but she represents.
Well, it's not gender, but it's.
Oh, okay, it's not gender. No, she's we had puppets made by Steve Extel, and we took one of his standard puppets and had him adjust it to where she could be many different races. She's race neutral. She's could be several different races, and Steve Axtell does a great job with those puppets too, to make them like that. He will customize them for you. I probably over answered that question or under answered it, depending upon where you stand. But did I answer your question enough?
He hasn't said. Tom, you got any other questions for that, or are you? He's good.
Okay.
One other question I had, if you want to talk about your Dallas Magic Academy and teaching.
Well, 5 years ago, my friend Brian South, who owned Creative Magic, somehow talked me into becoming a Discover Magic presenter. At the time, I was still working with Ronald McDonald, didn't see how I could possibly do it because I didn't feel like I had the time and I didn't want to halfway do it. But after literally a year of arguing about it, and you don't ever want to, if you know Brian, if he ever decides something, don't argue with him because he's going to get his way eventually. I finally just said, okay, fine, Brian, we'll do it. And so we opened up the Dallas Magic Academy. For 5 years, we taught magic in summer camps. And we had something like 37 camps scheduled for this summer. Every one of them canceled. And so we were looking for something to do, or not something to do, but we were looking for some kind of way to keep our customers happy. And so the Discover Magic people, all the Discover Magic presenters all pivoted. And we didn't just pivot, we just did a complete about face. And we learned how to do Zoom. You've seen me make some mistakes tonight, but I'm a little further from my camera than I usually would be. We learned how to do Zoom. We learned how to present online. We adjusted our classes. You saw that I have two cameras over here. I have a close-up cam, and this one I have another camera too that we use. And we learned how to do this online. And it's gone crazy. We were signing up from like April until the beginning of June. We were signing up a regular 12 to 18 new students a week. which is that's good. That's good. But there were some people that were doing like a lot more. And then we landed with a new provider, and they did all the promoting and everything. All I had to do, all Cindy and I had to do, were to present the classes, and we were having 30 to 50 new students a week. So, and that's how it went until this next week, the week that we're starting actually today, where we have nothing going on this week.
Yay!
Don't tell Brian.
Yay!
He'll find something for me to do, okay? Seriously, we're taking a week off, and then we kick back into gear on the 24th with after-school programs. We've had Zoom classes with over 500 kids in them. They're run by these other companies, and you know, it's like this. I don't get to see everybody's face. Have a moderator who's telling me what people are saying in the chat, and picking people to help me from time to time. So it's wild. 500 kids in a Zoom class. You know what the best part of Zoom class is? The mute all button. When we go back to live classes, I'm going to be looking for that mute all. Where's my mute all button? So it's been great fun, and I've had a great time. So
now, are you still doing the TV show, or?
Oh yeah. In fact, that's one thing that I will be doing this week. We're finishing up writing season 7. We're moving into a new studio. We have done in 6 years, in 3 years, we've done 6 seasons of Cartoon Circus. It started off as a Saturday morning show just here in Dallas. And then it spread, just so you know, the guy wanted a show that looked like it came out of the 60s. He was using cartoons from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. He wanted to use these older cartoons. And he wanted local hosts. He initially wanted Cindy just to be her character, Boopsie the Clown. But Cindy talked to him and said, wait a minute, you need to talk to my husband too. And so we went in and talked to him and pitched him the idea of having the ringmaster and the clown. Cindy plays the part of Boopsie the Clown. He said, well, I'd like to get, if possible, the EI button, educational and instructional button. Do you have any educational magic? And I just smiled and said, well, I've got 40 years of school shows, and I've never gotten rid of one single prop. I have a warehouse. When a show is retired, it goes back into the case, and it goes in the warehouse. And so we were just able to bring out one show after another. Cindy always says, why don't you get rid of that stuff? You're never going to use it again. And then we use it again. So she's thankful we didn't have to buy a whole lot of new props to do this show. And like I said, we're getting ready to do season 7. Very, very excited. Started off locally. Then we had 5 stations. They were in Dallas, Houston, South Texas. Can't remember the name of the town in South Texas, over near Padre Island, Las Vegas of all people, and Sacramento, California, were our first 5, spread out from just Dallas. And to be honest, I was a little embarrassed about it because I wanted something that had, you know, all the bells and whistles and great production and everything. And the producer, he wanted something that looked really, really retro. And the show looks really, really retro. But it's somehow been successful. Now it's seen all over the world. We're seen in China. 2 weeks ago, we had students in our school from Brazil, and they all knew us from the TV show. And Bruce, is Bruce still on?
Yes. In fact, Bruce just said, ask Dal to tell the story that Bruce told him about his TV show.
Bruce, would you like to tell the story? Because it's almost embarrassing. Can Bruce come on and do that?
Yes, yeah, I got him.
Okay.
There he goes.
All right. I'll be quick. So Dal blushed when I told him this story.
I'm blushing now.
So I was, so as a lot of you know, I work for Apple. So I was in the Apple store helping out a customer remember her password, and she had a child in the carriage, and the child was holding her iPhone, watching something. And I'm trying to help the woman, and then I go, "Is Dal Sanders here?" And I look down, and the child is watching his cartoon show here in Providence, Rhode Island. And I thought, wow, this has got to be a pretty big show if a random person comes in and the kid is watching Dal. And the child must have been, I don't know, 2.5 years old and was completely mesmerized by Dal's voice. So there's my story.
Thank you, Bruce. And yes, it is a little embarrassing. I can't do anything bad anymore because I'm a children's character. And I'm not wearing somebody else's face as a children's character. I'm wearing my face. So, yeah, it's funny. So
how can people catch the show?
Well, there's a free app that you can get called Spider TV. That's SPYDAR TV. And you can download it. You can watch it on either the Spider TV networks, or you can watch it on Cartoon Fun Time, which is like nonstop old-timey cartoons with Dal and Cindy. So if you really want to beat yourself up, do that. But I've got to tell you, it's a blast to be at a magic convention like in Las Vegas. We were in January. We were in Las Vegas, and it was like 2:00 in the morning. We were hanging out with people. Someone asked about the show, and I said, "Well, let's see if I'm on." Opened my phone, and there I was able to show them on the phone live at that time. So it's really insane, but it's a lot of fun too. So Spider TV, SPYDAR TV, free app. It's available for iPhone and for those of you that use other things. I don't want Bruce to be mad at me, so I say other things.
Well, Dal and Cindy, this was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I know people are going to be running to the card store tomorrow. It's just, and just so everybody knows, this is all recorded, so you can actually go back and with the card effect there, with everything that was on the screen, you can go back and see that because, again, like Jeff said, no, that was absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much. It was absolutely.
Thank you for having me, for having us.
So someone just said, do you have lecture notes for sale?
Yes. Again, these you can find them at. I tell you what, instead of going to magicmania.com, magic-mania.com, also email me at dal@magicsam.com. And generally the lecture notes are what?
Like $10. I don't know.
I had a sheet here, but you should see my studio in here. Everything's everywhere. They're usually like $10. Let's, we'll send them to you for $5.
Yeah, and postage, I guess.
Or yeah, I'll just send you. No, I was going to say $5 for a PDF.
Oh, yeah.
So, be glad to share that with you. So, and all this stuff and more is in there. I mean, there was a lot of stuff I didn't get a chance to cover.
Well, thank you so much.
Great!
Yes.
Awesome.
Had to get this. Thanks to Matt, we got the screenshot of that. So.
This is gonna haunt me forever. I can tell.
We did have one question from the chat room on the website. I linked to the Dallas Magic Academy, but how do people get in contact with you from when you start your online classes back up?
That's another great question. We're on several different providers now. Just click on the Dallas Magic Academy email link, info@dallasmagicacademy.com. And I will also send you information on those classes if you're interested.
Right.
Now, understand they're for kids, okay? They're for kids.
Yeah.
We specialize in 8 to 12-year-old kid lessons. I have adults ask about that too, but I don't know, you might find I don't know. I think they're great tricks. email me and we'll talk. So Dal at magicsham.com, Dal at stagemagic.com, info at dallasmagicacademy.com,
Any of
magic-mania.com. Anything else?
that's good.
Hey, thank you so much for having us. I mean, this
Wow.
really was awesome. You guys are just so cool. And I'm usually the guy in the chat room with my camera off, just enjoying what I'm seeing online. But thank you for having us. It meant so much to us. Thank you.
Well, thank you. This was, like I said, to both of you, it was absolutely phenomenal. And I want to thank John Midgley, Matthew Crabtree, and Brett Soule and Bruce, of course, for getting this all together. It's fantastic. Matt, what's coming up in the future for V1.1? So we're now in the 5th year. So
yeah, 5th year. Year 5 is the year of the compeers or the magician. We're gonna focus a lot on member meetings this year to give magicians a chance to, show their stuff, ask questions, get advice. But it's going to be more member meetings this year than we've done in a year past. So that's what you have looking forward to. Next month is definitely going to be a members meeting. So it's going to be a Zoom show, or if you're unable to join us live, you can email us. I'll post email link. You can send us your pre-recorded effect routine that you're working on, that you want to show, that you got advice, and we'll have that coming up next month.
Oh, fantastic. And one thing I want to touch on that Dal had said before, with Magic Week coming up, your assembly still can get together through Zoom. You can actually record yourself, doing an assembly show on Zoom. And the SAM will provide a free Zoom meeting for you to do that. We'll record it and we can post it for you. So if you want to get something ready for Magic Week, we're here for you. So just need to contact us and we'll do it. So we'll get you all set, get you rocking and rolling. Matt?
I would say, speaking of Magic Week, reach out to the hospitals, reach out to assisted living facilities, nursing facilities that you normally would have gone to, and ask them about sending them a pre-recorded show that can be played on the in-house TVs that the hospitals have, that these different facilities have. So that way, instead of everyone having to gather, which is, against the rules now, they can have it on demand or some other way that they can share your pre-recorded show.
Excellent ideas. And like I said, we're here to help you. So until next time, September, my gosh, we're heading into the fall. Thank you so much for coming here. Again, thank you to Dal and Cindy for doing this tonight. And we'll see you all next time on Assembly V1.1. Bye, everybody. Take it easy now.